Hey everyone, and welcome back to On a Water Break, the podcast where we talk about everything you and your friends are talking about at rehearsal on a water break. This week we are leaving fall behind as we prep for winter. We'll also find out what made Nicole say,
okay, we frown upon it. Well, maybe, I don't know, maybe that should be in writing somewhere.
And why Joey said,
if you didn't woohoo, why would the audience woohoo, you know?
All this and more in this week's episode of On a Water Break.
8 off the mat and go.
Welcome to On a Water Break, the podcast where we talk everything marching arts.
Everyone, bring it in.
It's time for a water break.
Hey everyone, it's Jackie. We have a fun episode this week. Although fall band is very much still a presence for everyone here, we want to make sure you're all ready for the winter season, which is just around the corner. And we have some amazing people who are joining us this week to get you excited about it. But before we see who's on the sidelines this week, make sure you go and subscribe on your favorite listening app, or write us a review, share this with a friend. If you have a question or a good topic to talk about, make sure you email us at onawaterbreakpodcast@gmail.com, or find us on social media and DM us if you want to be on the show. We even have a form you can fill out if you want to be a guest. That is at our link in bio. So, who's on the sidelines this week? Nicole. Hey, girl.
Hey, girl. We are getting our monthly check-in, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's been since last month that I was on the show. So
yeah, pretty much. Yes. So we are trying to leave fall behind. At the current moment, I still have two more days of marching band in front of me. So
living the dream, though, I tell you what.
trying. We're trying to get into those spaces. Working hard.
And Joey, back again. You're like our permanent host these days. I swear I've seen you on every episode. So we're like the opposites here.
Yeah, I mean, the design time has kind of slowed down for the fall, so I get a little bit of time to come and talk about band with my friends. So here we are, making it happen. Before it gets crazy again, of course.
All right, so moving on to our special guests. Both of them are part of one of the most intriguing guards in WGI, and I would dare to say one of my favorites, especially to see live, Juxtaposition. So today we are talking to director Stephanie Furness.
Hello.
Hello, and artistic director Becca Anderson. So hello, both of you.
Hello. Hello.
And did I say that right? Is it Furness?
It's Furnace. Yes, that's correct.
Okay. I always like to make sure. Well, before we dig super deep in with you guys, we have a little tradition we have to do on the show. It is our 32 count life story. So what we're going to do is we're going to have the Met, everyone's favorite Dr. Beat, and they're going to give you 8 counts. And then you get 8, and then you just go and you tell your entire life story from the day you were born until today, this most illustrious time that you get to be on our podcast. And who wants to go first?
32 counts.
8 counts and you're it, Stephanie.
Okay.
All right, let's make it happen.
I started marching when I was 5 years old, and I continued to march all the way through drum corps and aged out. Then I started teaching drum corps and marching bands and winter guards, and I've taught with several of those programs all the way through. I started Juxtaposition in 1998, and we've been out every season since then, and continue to teach other winter guard programs and write some drill and all of those fun things.
Look at you. She said it wasn't going to happen in 32 counts.
There was a lot abbreviated, though. I feel like that was a loaded 32 counts right there.
But wait a minute.
Yeah.
I want to take us back
So
to
you
the
said,
beginning. Yeah. Thank you, Joey. 5 years old. What the heck?
Yes. My mother
How?
was a baton twirler and a guard instructor, and she started me at 5 years old, and I just continued to do those things. And then when I got into high school, I also started playing a trumpet, and turns out I was pretty good at it. So when I went and marched drum corps, I played lead trumpet. I didn't do color guard because it was something my mom couldn't tell me if I was doing right or wrong. But then, after the fact, I still continued to teach color guard and all of those fun things. So it's kind of how it all happened.
Queen.
Nothing better than your mother being your instructor.
I can imagine. Wow, that's a lot. Yes. Wow.
Which drum corps did you march at?
I marched at a Division II Corps. Well, I started at Phantom Regiment, and then I went. There was a Division II Corps in Columbus that was coming out called Limited Edition, and I marched with them for a few years, and then I went to Santa Clara.
We learned so much in these 32 counts, Stephanie. That's why we get that out of the way. So we're not just like, so tell me where you're from. You know what I mean? So it's just like random. Come on. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's extensive.
There's so much in there. I feel like every single time I'm around Stephanie, there's like some new story of some drum corps or color guard that she's taught, and all of these people. I'm like, you did that too? You did that? I mean, it's crazy how much Steph has done.
I'm really glad you spoke up on this, Becca. I love to do this. What's your favorite Stephanie story, Becca?
Oh my gosh, my favorite Stephanie story. It's probably when she talks about. Oh God, there is this guy from Japan that she taught with, and there's always these crazy stories about him experiencing America with Stephanie. And every single story that they have about this guy is hilarious, and that doesn't sound very funny, but when you're in the moment, there's always what is his name, Stephanie? What was his name?
Junya Otani.
Junya Otani. Junya had a very good time with Stephanie. Let's just put it that way.
He had a good experience of America.
Well, Becca, are you ready to be put on the spot for your 32 count life story?
I guess so. I have to follow Stephanie. This is tough. Okay.
You said go first.
8 and I'm in.
There you go.
I was born in Baltimore, Maryland. I started as a dancer. It led me to do color guard in high school at Tarpon Springs High School with the very first color guard Tarpon ever had. Same instructors that are there now were there as the first year instructors. I went on to march the company, Independent World, Carolina Crown, and the Cadets Drum and Bugle Corps. Started teaching right out of high school. Went all the way through different states, Washington State, Indianapolis, Idaho, Hawaii. I'm back in Idaho and Hawaii, and I've had my own independent guard. I had a Scholastic World team, and now I am a full-time designer for drum corps, winter guards, and marching bands.
Had you have spoken any slower, wouldn't have made it.
That was fun.
Started off as a dancer. What kind of dance did you do?
I did tap, ballet, jazz, point, modern. I did all of it, and I was a competitive dancer. So like when you see like Dance Moms, and sometimes they compete at like Showstopper. I did that when I was really little.
Love.
Yeah, it was fun. Tap was probably one of my favorites.
Wow.
A missing art. I hope more people keep doing it.
I just did a Banksy show, and one of the things was the flower riot guy, and we did a bucket drumming, and we put a dumpster fire on the floor, and we the big percussion thing was a tap dancer, and she's like a trained tap dancer at this arts magnet school. It was so cool. I'll send you a video. I critique it. Send me like, this would have worked better if blah blah blah. I'll take all that too. But the young performer was just amazing. We came in and we're like, here's the rhythms, and she was like, oh, I can do that. I can also accent this, and we can make this groove here. And I go, you know what? You just take it. Right. I'll just see it on Thursday. Yeah. So yeah, I like that.
She said, I'm just gonna start writing this part here. Also, Becca and Becca was the reason I got a job in Texas, my first job in Texas. Yeah. Because I was like, ma'am. I'm ready for something new. What's your something new? I'm going to move to Texas. well, you should tell me. Like, and literally, like, that's the way it went. And so, yeah, Becca was my catalyst into my Texas band era.
That's so true. Good old Tomball High School.
Nice. So how did you get on with Juxta then, Becca, and how did you and Stephanie meet?
Oh, actually, I love this story, actually. So COVID had happened. Everything was shut down. And at the time, I was working with Byron Valentine, and he was doing costumes for me for some of my teams. And so we got on the phone because we were trying to figure out what was potentially the fall going to look like, because none of us knew at that time. And we just got on a personal conversation about how I was judging a lot at the time. I was judging for WGI and all over the country. And I was designing for some local high schools, but I'd removed myself as a color guard director for, at that time, like 5 years. And I was having that bug again of wanting to be a part of a world-class color guard again. I missed it. I missed that, the competitiveness. I missed the creativity. And he, in the same token, told me at that time he was considering, not designing as much. He was thinking about going into judging more. And so it was kind of interesting that we had this reversal of roles of what we wanted out of our future. And he just happened to say, you know what, I might know somebody that is looking for a change. And the very next day, I got a text message from Stephanie Furness, and I was floored, because when I said I wanted to get back into it, I was not expecting a renowned color guard to be contacting me, like, especially since I had never done an independent world guard. Like, what? Really? And so we got on the phone the very next day and easily spoke for a couple of hours and just hit it off right away. It was a dream. I was just so excited to be a part of it.
And the rest, as they say, is her story. It's her story.
It is. It's awesome. Stephanie we've found something together that's just really healthy and fun and crazy. Like, we have to be crazy to do what we're doing. It's been so fun.
So you meet Stephanie. You guys talk, like, how does Juxta happen? How do you become a part of it? Where does Juxta start? Like, what's the origin of Juxtaposition?
Oh, that's a Stephanie question.
The color guard actually originated because I was teaching a high school color guard at the time with a friend of mine from drum corps, and we had a group of high school kids that their school wasn't going to let them have a color guard, and so we had this crazy idea that we were going to just start an independent guard, because it's so easy and all, so we were going to start an independent color guard so these kids could march. And essentially it just kept going from there. We've had different designers, but we've always tried to kind of keep our identity similar. And it just so happened that Becca kind of views things in the exact same way that I do, as far as, it's got to still be about some entertainment as well as competitive, and people pay to sit in the seats, and we want to make sure that they're having a good time watching what we're doing. And it just kind of, like she said, we just hit it off, and it went from there.
How do you go about designing these fun shows? Because I mean, like, we look at the entire idiom, and I mean, like, we look at A class and we see how hard it is to separate yourself from people in your round, and then you look at world class, and everybody has their own identity, everybody has their own flavor. I mean, obviously, it has to do with attitude reflects leadership. So it's y'all at the top really making this, breeding this culture. How does one do that? How do you make it fun, entertaining, but also taken serious to the point where you are a serious world-class competitor?
I think that, at least for us, and this was a question that my husband Mike had posed to us probably about 4 years ago. I think it was right after our first year together. And, we were in this place of, do you want to be entertaining? Is that all it's about? Do you want to shift? Do you want to be more artistic? And we both simultaneously looked at each other and said, well, we want to be both. We want to be both artistic and entertainment. And I think how that relays down to, like, your A guards. I have to be honest, I don't treat conceptually the idea of what an A-class color guard is going to do much differently than what a world-class color guard is going to do. And what I mean by that is, like, you have to have a hook. Like, you have to have something that we can grab onto, and there is no class to us that changes that idea. Now, does the concept and the idea and the hook have to be a little bit more grandiose, maybe for world class? Sure. You know, there's definitely a much larger intellectual and emotional and aesthetic concept to I think the world classes, but that's how you separate yourself in the A classes, in my opinion, is that you have that. You can have the best idea for an A guard, and it's more than just, I like this Taylor Swift song, you know. I think how we choose the entertainment versus art. Hey, we love Taylor Swift. Don't get me wrong. We would do Taylor Swift. We would. We're that type of color guard. But I don't know, Steph, like, what do you think about the entertainment part of it? Because I know that that's really important. And I think that you're a huge part of the entertainment because of the music that we pick.
I don't know. I've always believed that, you know, kids want audience response. That's what they love. That's why they're doing this activity, because they love it, but they want feedback from the audience that it's working or they're doing a good job. And it doesn't matter how old they are. It could be little tiny kids all the way up to 30-some-year-olds, you know, but they're all craving the same thing. They all want that audience to scream and yell for them or clap and appreciate everything that they do. And so we've just always tried to make it a priority to make sure that the kids enjoy what they're doing. You know, we know if we enjoy the music and we enjoy the concept, that the kids that we take on are gonna do that as well. But it's always in the forefront of our mind.
My favorite thing that Steph says when we're listening to music is, I don't want to listen to that all season. And it's so true. Like, we have to react to those things sometimes and be honest. Like, do we really like this, or are we just buying into our own press clippings?
Am I gaslighting myself into this? Yes, you are.
Yes.
Yes, you are.
Yes. I'm so emotional about this piece. Yes, you are. Nobody else is.
I'm not getting So
I took a. Oh, sorry. I'll just say my little piece real quick. I took a Michael Gray judging seminar, which, I mean, all he did, he brought out his easel and just, you know, made a painting for us. And he talked about, you know, removing your bias as he created this beautiful piece of art, which is a very Michael Gray way of explaining anything. But something that, like, really rang true and kind of resounds with what we're saying is, he said something along the lines of, like, trust your first emotional instinct. If you didn't woohoo, why would the audience woohoo, you know? And I think it ties in very well with what y'all are saying. I like, if our listeners are looking like, I always feel like I have these really cool concepts, but nothing, you know, I never get what I want at the end of the season. Maybe we're missing that hook. Maybe we're missing that emotional factor, you know, that makes the audience go woohoo. And maybe your kids aren't getting a moment to shine for those woohoos. So if you're looking for a way to spice up your shows and move to the next level, this may be the piece of information you're missing. I think it's really important.
Like, yes. Like having that, those highs and lows and that variety. Like, if your music produces that for you, you're naturally going to be able to produce more highs and lows visually, you know, because I mean, as long as you're trying to be musical, I don't know. But like Stephanie, Mike and I were having we'll call it a disagreement, Stephanie and I against Mike, about one of our pieces for this year. And Stephanie and I were on the phone, and she's like, well, why did you want to do this? Why do you think it's perfect? Or why do you think it's right? And I listed right off the top of my head, like, immediately 8 different reasons why I thought it was right then. And we had never asked that question. And she was like, what did you say to me, Stephanie? As soon as I finished listing my reasons right away, do you remember?
Well, I asked you, then what is the reason why we shouldn't do it? And your answer was Mike Anderson. And I said, that's not good enough. You know.
Sorry, Hubs. So he got vetoed, and we're very glad that we vetoed him, because when we played it for the guard, their reaction was spectacular. So we were like, okay, this is it.
That's perfect. That's so good.
Yeah.
So Becca, our producer Jeremy saw that your TikTok and you were talking about like an upcoming camp at Juxta that you're having, and reached out and said, "Hey, you should bring this to On a Water Break." So I want you to tell us a little bit about what your plans were with starting the TikTok series and what you may have this evolve into, and that now that we scooped you up.
Yeah. So I've had so many people the last couple of years ask if I would do something like this, whether it be a podcast or a video series or whatever, just because they just want to know. Like, I'm sure I would love to know what other color guards do on the weekends to prepare for rehearsals. Like, I love that stuff. I love just going and watching, and being a spectator. And I had this final conversation with another designer friend of mine, and they're like, well, you should just do it. It would be fun to let people in on the process, even if you don't want to give away all of the secrets before the competition season. Plus, I think Juxtaposition is just a really fun place to be. The members, the staff, we all get along so well, and it's just such a great environment that I think it's worth sharing with people. So I started it as just like a little, look into it. I couldn't believe how quickly it took off in 3 little videos, especially when I was just messing around at rehearsal. Now it's like, okay, let's get the cast to be known better, so that when people see them at a show, they might recognize them, because they deserve that. They're the ones that put in all this crazy hard work, and then too, like, yeah, I mean, they're so great. And then too, for people that are on our side of it, the directors and the designers, what are we doing? What are we doing each weekend to, whether it be prepare or, how long did it take us to work through 15 seconds of the show? I mean, I don't know. I figured it would be cool to just get information out there. The hard part is going to be, honestly, hiding what we do in the beginning as much as possible, so that nobody sees it before the first show. So
you should just turn the camera on you and just like your reaction to everything that's happening. There you go.
Yeah. So we'll figure it out, but it was exciting. I'm excited just to kind of test it out. Plus, I'm a new TikToker. I mean, I've been on TikTok, but I'm more of just a scroller than I am
doom scroller
than a filmer.
Gonna do that after we're done.
That was always one of the biggest challenges, because we did this on YouTube. We did this series that was like a vlog of our season for several years in a row. And it was like, how do we do this without showing the same? And if you want some hints, I'll tell you after the show. I can give you some of our secrets, what we did, because it was crazy. I mean, we were nowhere near the level, but it was very popular, and it took off so quickly. Like, you guys are going to see some amazing growth and following on social media from this. Even just like,
that's
seriously,
awesome.
You come up in my For You page every time I get on TikTok now. So,
oh God, okay, that's good to know.
We want to go ahead and take this time to preview some awesome weekly episodes and bonus content that we have going on. Joey and Trish just had the Peters family on, who their entire family did the Boston Crusaders rifle choreography. They're an amazing marching arts family. They blew up over on TikTok. We're just talking about TikTok. They are huge over there. So if you haven't seen that yet, if you're on TikTok, you've probably seen it. But if you haven't, go watch that. Stevens State Band Championships wrap up with Neil and Art Grossman. And the interview with Rowan University's Megan Cooney is a really great one. So make sure you go and listen to that episode. And then, of course, I can't go on without mentioning the bonus episode that Jeremy and Ricardo did with the Latrice Royale. So go check that one out. It is live now. And for those of you who are wondering where Jeremy is, he's generally producing our show, but he's not always on. He is on that episode, so you can go and see what he's got. So anyway, we are going to get back out on the floor in just a minute.
Celebrating its 25th anniversary, Guard Closet was founded as a consignment shop in 2000. Since then, it has grown to become your one-stop shop for the marching arts.
Do you need consignment uniforms and flags for your color guard, marching band, or drumline? We have thousands of sets of consignments in stock and ready to ship.
Do you need show design and custom choreography? Our designers have years of experience in the marching arts.
Do you need to sell your items and clear out your storage areas? We take in more than 600 sets of consignments each year and return hundreds of thousands of dollars to our consigners for their sales.
Do you need to have your students order shoes, gloves, and other equipment? We can set up a microsite for easy student ordering of a wide variety of items.
Do you need custom costumes or flags? We can help get you great designs from our team through top vendors like Show Day Designs.
Have you listened to our podcast On a Water Break? Weekly episodes and bonus content keep you entertained and informed with what's going on in the marching arts.
For over 25 years, Guard Closet has been here to help. Check us out at guardcloset.com or follow us on social media.
All right, everybody, grab your water bottles and come on over to the bleachers. Let's get to the news. Who's starting us off today? Joey, you're starting us off.
I got some news. I got some good news.
Okay.
Chad Smith of the Red Hot Chili Peppers launches a music scholarship through the University of Michigan. He also played with them this weekend, which was really fun. So imagine you're a freshman in college and you're going for your music education classes and you go, oh, by the way, you're going to play with the Red Hot Chili Peppers drummer this weekend. No big deal. And then he announces he's doing this that's called the Chad Smith Foundation. He's naming it after his parents, Joan and Curtis, which I think is really lovely. And the biggest craziness of it all is that one incoming freshman for the School of Music, Theater, and Dance in the fall of 2026 is going to get a $40,000 scholarship from Chad Smith, which is insane. Nice. I mean, that'll help out a lot.
Yeah. That's amazing.
We all need money.
Yeah, I think it's really fun when Pharrell does all his thing. Mm-hmm. We saw what he did at the World Series where he kind of involved a little bit of marching band, making the American flag turn to the Canadian flag. He does a bunch of stuff at Princess Anne here in Virginia. It's really cool to see. This isn't the first time that Chad Smith has done something with marching bands and given back to the music community. I just think it's amazing that they just continue to find avenues for marching band, for music education, because we know how crazy these times are with cutting funds and stuff. It's great to see that there's still support. And it makes me giddy. I wish I could have $40,000.
Well, here's what you need to do. You need to make your bank, and then you got to go back and give a scholarship to somebody else. That's my favorite things to do through Spintronics is offer those scholarships every year, because it's just like, I know when I was marching and there was no scholarships, just they weren't well known if they did exist. And now it's like, okay, we need to go back and give back to somebody, help somebody out the way we wish we could be helped.
Oh yeah. It's all about the giving back. You receive so much, not just like support, but information. And I think it's really important to every chance you get, like, oh, well, I learned this thing, or I learned this thing, or here's some, like I give about like $4,000 or $5,000 a summer out. Cause I don't got a bag like that, 40 is crazy. But if I could, I'd pay a whole core, charge no kid, no fees one day, when I hit the lottery.
Gonna be like Star 2.0.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Star
We'll be like, well, I'm a big. Yeah.
Exactly. You don't gotta pay. Just come and play. Don't you worry.
And you got to realize these kids that are incoming freshmen were like not born whenever the Red Hot Chili Peppers were like hitting their stride. So that's also got to be something.
Like, what's Will Ferrell doing on the stand?
mind you, all of these youngsters, young whippersnappers are all walking around with Red Hot Chili Peppers t-shirts on, not knowing a thing.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
This fall has been crazy for band gear, and they really have no idea. I'm like, so what's your favorite? You listen to that?
Sing a
My
lyric.
dad listens to it.
Sing a lick. Yeah.
Yeah. Give me a tune.
Give it
Nope,
away.
okay.
Give it away. Nothing? No? Okay.
Nope. You need to give your shirt away.
Yes, exactly.
Do it now.
No, I don't have fleas. What are you talking about? For those of you in the audience that were
Becca,
born,
you got our next story on the docket.
1800s.
I do. So those of you that may or may not know this person, Gladys Wright, who was a pioneering American band director, composer, author, educator, and most importantly, a champion for women in music education. She passed away on Wednesday at the ripe old age of 100, a centennial. Can you believe it? Here's the thing. I know, it's like just 1925. That means that, her first year teaching as a woman was in 1948, before women even had certain rights. That's incredible that she was such a pioneer for being a band director. I think we're still fighting as women today to make our voices heard and find that equality all across the land, all across the world. It's pretty incredible to be a band director in 1948, but we all have so many memories of what our band directors have given us. I can only imagine the amount of people that she was able to touch lives, but man, 100. I hope I make it to 100.
No kidding. Give me 100-year-old birthday. Man. And also too, just not just with her, but her legacy. How many females did she inspire to go on and keep doing those things?
Yeah.
Well,
amazing.
Speaking of legacies and
Nicole, you can
wanting to move on and
inspire people.
Yeah, inspire and create a good future. I mean, you all know, or may not know, but I am a member of the WGI DEI committee. And some of the things that we do is, we work with, or actually work very closely with the Emerging Voices Awards. We've come up with that. And also the Future Leaders program. Both of those applications are now open. Deadline for them is December 31st. A lot of people have been asking me about them and what they actually do. So I'll talk about the Emerging Voices Award first. It's never one of those things that someone needs to tell you, hey, can you work on this project to make the world a better place? The folks that have won this award in the past have said, hey, I'm just doing this, and has started it. They start small, like within their circuit, within their school, within their neighborhood. And then obviously it grows as much as possible. So right now we're just looking for the Emerging Voices Award. Basically, and I'll just tell you about it from the website, but it's a monetary award that basically strives to reduce the financial barriers for historically underrepresented participants with high artistic skills and leadership promise. So, a person who's actually in a guard, or maybe even teaches a guard. And then they're also doing something within that guard, within that circuit, within that neighborhood, within that school, to make a difference within that community. So there's been people in the past, there's been people in the past who have won, and their picture and everything is on the WGI website. And also the Emerging Voices Award application is on the WGI website as well. Now, if you are one of those people who, hey, I'm not a person who's marching or teaching, but I want to donate towards this monetary award, there is an icon that you can click on if you want to donate towards the award. So as a member of the DEI committee, I will say, please go and do that. Give back. Hey, we were just talking about ways you can give back. That's one way. And then the other thing that I wanted to talk about is the Future Leaders program. We're really into it right now. With the Future Leaders program, you apply. It's more along the lines of, again, folks who are either currently marching, currently teaching, and they want to know more about the inside works of it. This is about ambassadorship, mentorship. You work closely with people who are on the board at WGI to learn more about the inner workings. Like, what is it that you can bring to the table to find out about things? And then what is it that these young folks, can talk to us about? Because I'm not going to lie to you, I'm not 20. I mean, even though, but anyway, I'm not 20. So I am not part of that young group anymore. And a lot of the young people who are out there, they have good ideas. Bring them to the table. We should not be alienating anyone, because of age. And honestly, the only way that we grow is if we listen to each other and we listen to the other generations. And so this is a great way for those young people to come and talk to us, because they have some great ideas, like fantastic ideas. So I can't wait for someone. And it's really cool to sit and talk to them and everything, because they're still in their marching era. A lot of the kids that are in the Future Leaders program are under 21 or, 21 and under. They're still marching and they have great ideas. They want this to grow in a way that's going to be accessible to the generations to come. Both of these applications are due on December 31st. So get your applications. I don't know if any of you, I think some of you probably would know some of the last year's winner are, I guess you could say the 2025 winner of the Emerging Voices Award was Robin Elklin. Past ones, Kennedy Riles, Sadie Taylor, Olivia Starnes. I think Olivia marched AMP. Kennedy marched, I forget. Let's see. Jonathan Moreno marched AMP. Luis Riviera, Chris Washington, just to name a couple. And what these young folks are doing within their circuit and their community is really something that you would not even think about. Hey, I'm going to go ahead and start this. They just went ahead and did it on their own, and then found people who were like-minded in that community and said, hey, I want to help. How can I help? And they started doing even more. And then that drove them to us, and the ball is rolling even more and made WGI aware. Out of the Emerging Voices Award, I don't know if you all knew this or not, but the inclusive language that judges have, instead of, just placing a pronoun on a performer, saying the performer, the student, that has become kind of commonplace with judges now when identifying a performer on the floor. And that came out of that.
I love the standardization from that. So I have our next news story. I'm excited that the Macy's band lineup has gotten announced, and the Spartans, who are guard closet consigner, by the way, are the list, along with Temple University. They're going to be in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, along with the Macy's Great American Marching Band, as usual. So make sure you guys check those out. You can go to macys.com/s/parade/lineup to see the entire list of the bands that are going to be in the parade. And one last news story that we had to add this very last second because this just happened. It'll be a little while ago from whenever this is published, but the Vandegrift Viper band trailer was struck by a moving train while it was on its way to their state preliminary competition. The band, no one was hurt, so that's awesome. The band did lose quite a bit of their equipment. The video circulating online really needs to have a trigger warning attached to it, because it is a very intense video. But just know that there was no people injured in this whatsoever. The person who was taking the video was the driver of the truck. They do tell them to do that for insurance purposes. From what I understand, the truck got stuck on the tracks and could not get out of the way of the train. So Leander High School is loaning some equipment to the band, and then their performance time got changed to 9:15 p.m. so that they could actually get to the performance and get it together and hopefully they do well. Yeah, they're performing last instead of their normal time. So leave it to band people. Yeah, leave it to band people to like pull it together, make it happen, even a literal train wreck.
It is such a community.
All right.
It is such a community.
Yeah. And I think such a important lesson to learn in the performing arts, right? Like the show must go on is what we're always told, right?
Yes.
And so like there's no better leadership, I feel like, than some of those Texas band directors that are under the pressure cooker so often like this, you know, when you get into a space like Jared Littman's going to go and he's going to talk to those kids, he's going to put them in the right headspace. I mean, this is now an hour from when they performed already, right? Like, you know, he sat them down and there's a conversation of like, we still have control of what we have control. Oh, and I'm sure they had a great performance tonight. I think that's incredible. My heart goes out to everybody involved, but think about the adults that have to get the students in the right headspace and then the students that still got to go out there and make something happen. Ugh.
You can imagine the way they went on that field, that applause and that crowd was probably shaking that entire place for them.
Are they competing at Grand Nationals, or will tomorrow, if they make finals, be their last performance?
I don't know. We were actually talking about that.
I'm sure that they'll post something, but hopefully if they need any support, people can rally to get them what they need for Grand Nationals if they're going.
Yeah. Wow.
All right. Everybody put your water bottles down. We're going to have Becca and Stephanie lead us in an incredible organic improv design winter guard show. So get back out on the floor.
Hi, everyone. It's time for your travel tip of the week with me. I'm Beth with Peak Group Travel. Performance tours are a great way to showcase your ensemble in new cities and for new audiences. But be sure to also include local attractions and sightseeing tours or cruises to give your group a full cultural experience while they're on the road. Don't forget to like and follow Peak Group Travel on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And be sure to email info@peakgrouptravel.com when you're ready to start planning your next performance tour. This is your travel tip of the week with me, Beth, from Peak Group Travel. Ready to elevate your travel game? Welcome to Peak Group Travel, the ultimate adventure creators. Whether you're planning an unforgettable class trip, a once-in-a-lifetime parade experience for your marching band, or a choir tour full of memorable performance venues, Peak Group Travel handles it all, so you can focus on making memories. From breathtaking international destinations to amazing adventures right here at home, Peak Group Travel customizes every journey to your vision. We're not just planners, we're your partners for the trip you want for your students. Our online registration portal makes managing your pre-trip experience smooth and convenient. We even collect your payments if you'd like. Picture it, effortless planning, unmatched experiences, and smiles that last long after the journey ends. That's the Peak Group Travel difference. And if you choose to partner with Peak on your next tour, and you mention that you heard about us on the On a Water Break podcast, you'll earn a $100 trip credit. Discover why groups everywhere trust Peak Group Travel. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn, and be sure to visit peakgrouptravel.com today. You pick the date, and we'll make it great.
All right. Bring it back. I know improv staging is super fun, but it is time for our 60-second tech block.
60-second tech block. 60-second tech block!
I absolutely love that. I can't get past it.
I do
anytime.
I was not ready.
This is the segment where one of our hosts or guest clinicians is put on the spot to deliver a nonstop 60-second tech session on a topic that needs some serious attention after the last run. Our special tech this week has come prepared with 3 topics they think they can talk about for a full 60 seconds straight. No hesitation, no pauses, just pure technical gold. And this week, I think we're going to throw it over to Stephanie. So, Stephanie, you said your best topics were 1, what should you have in your medical kit? 2, medical prevention and care, and 3, the juxtaposition family traditions. So, what topic do we think Stephanie should do? And Becca, you can vote too.
We didn't fight this long for you not to vote. Come on. I'll throw my hat in first to say the medical prevention and care.
I think it's really important.
So exciting.
I mean, like, we're asking these performers to do such craziness these days. The training's got to be there, but there's also, I think it's important to talk about how to prevent things as well. I go for number 2.
Yeah. Not to mention, like, honestly, everything that's wrong with my body is because of color guard. And I'm sure if we had a nurse or somebody there when I marched, because I marched back in the 1900s, that I wouldn't be hurting this much right now. So let me digress.
You marched in the 1900s. Oh my gosh. It hurts my heart.
Such a good era.
Becca?
Absolutely. Like the medical stuff all the way. Nobody does it better than Juxtaposition because of all of the medical people, and Stephanie is at the top of that list. Let's go. Share some deets.
Okay. Stephanie, are you ready?
I am, yeah.
Okay, Joey, can you pull up a 60-second timer on your phone?
No, that's my dog. Yeah, I can 100%. Let me... Hey, Charcoal.
Can you pull up your dog?
Dog that can keep time?
Here's Charcoal.
Over there.
We'll keep it down. No
All right, here we go.
You ready? Here we go. 3, 2. Oh gosh. I forgot how to use the timer. Okay, I'm ready. 3, 2, 1.
Okay, well, we start every day out with a little bit of a warm up of the muscles, and then we actually have 2 people who have their physical training stuff that we actually put the kids through about a 30 to 40 minute training session to work on any kind of conditioning with their muscles, stretching and stuff happens after that. But we do even have, every member has like workout elastic bands. So we're building up leg strength and then arm strength and all those fun things. And then we start after that with our stretch and our movement block. Every kid has to fill out a medical form, and they have to write on here any type of injuries or any type of illnesses they may have. And they have to sit down with one of our nurses, which is the other director, and one of the other people who've been along there a long time. And we go through what's going on with them. And then after that, we generally talk to them about if you have asthma, you need to have an inhaler there, and you also need to have a buddy who knows where that inhaler is. If you have something like diabetes. Oh well.
60 seconds tech block!
Did she keep going?
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to get it all in. We actually make the kids. So we actually have helmets that we actually put on the kids if they're trying tricks. We have like skateboarding helmets that they put on. If they're afraid of any of that stuff, then we have 4, and then some of them also own their own. So if they're trying any of those tricks, we actually have them put them on, especially if they're afraid of anything. Braces, knee pads, those are all important things. We put knee pads on them. We make them wear their shoes, so we're not just pounding their backs.
Are you putting it's a long day. All of this into the TikTok videos that you're going to make?
Yeah.
Oh, we could, yeah.
Because my kids need to see this. Because I tell them, go get your helmets and put your helmets on before you attempt this 45 when you're a little high schooler who's never done 45s before. Go get your helmets. And they're like, I don't want to wear a helmet. I don't want to look dumb. Like, no, this is what the pros do. This is how they do it.
I, for real, have told kids to do that. Not until I got to Texas did a kid actually come to rehearsal with the bike helmet. And I was like, what's that for? I don't want to get hit in the head. And I was like, I'm fair. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. You at it. How about it?
Yeah. Now, the fear of some of this equipment stuff is real, and concussions are real, So we don't allow them, if they do get injured, especially concussions, they're not allowed back on the floor until they're released by a medical physician.
So good. Oh my gosh, that's so good. I mean,
they're so good about it.
Any of these elite performing ensembles, whether they're competitive in our own pageantry arts, or you're talking about Broadway or any of the Las Vegas Cirque shows or any of that stuff, they are so adamant that you are cleared medically before you jump in. Not A, insurance, all that jazz, but B, I think it shows that you care. And that in itself is a great culture to have within your ensemble. Like, this goes past just being safe. It's being the family that we all say we are, like, oh, we're a big family. Those are words until you put action like this in. I think it's really important, and I think it's awesome. How do you communicate? Because this is an expectation. You've got your shoes, you've got the right shoes, right? You've got your knee pads, you've got all your protective gear. How do you communicate that with the members, and how do you kind of keep them accountable for that?
Well, I mean, we bought all of them this year. Typically, we buy them the elastic bands that are longer, but this year we bought them the shorter ones that are the loop, so they can do their leg workouts and stuff like that. So we handed all of them those, and we just said, this is just like your equipment. It needs to come with you to rehearsal every weekend. Knee pads are kind of the same thing. We talk at the very beginning of the season about, knee pads are important, shoes are important. So anytime we're doing any kind of physical conditioning, we have them have their shoes on. And even when Becca and I are doing staging and they're running around on the tarp, we have them, because we practice on tennis courts, like that kind of material. So it beats up your back pretty bad. So we have them put those on. And the kids who don't get knee pads, they learn pretty quick. The first time they have to slide or one of those things that, hey, maybe I should have gotten my knee pads. We talk to them about the right kind of knee pads to get. Like, don't get volleyball knee pads, get wrestler knee pads, because they're a little bit more flexible and they're a little thinner, and just different things like that. And we encourage them that if they had any kind of knee problems, ankle problems, back problems, that they need to wear their braces. Nobody needs to be a hero here. We just need to. It's a long season, so it's important.
Y'all could do an entire podcast with Stephanie on all of the medical stuff. It's so important.
Stephanie, what are you doing next week? Let's schedule this now.
It makes me think, like, honestly, how did I get through 3 years of world? Well, 4 years of world, but like 3 years of world, 8 years off, 1 year of world. But you know what I mean? Of course, again, I don't know if I got through it. I mean, I tried. Yeah, I mean, I didn't die. Like, it's still here. However, like,
your body definitely knows it.
Mm-hmm. Yes. As a break dancer, like a competitive break dancer and professional dancer for a while, like, my shoulder kills me. Like, I go and get my hair cut and they're like, oh, would you like a massage? I'm like, if you touch my shoulder, I'm going to cry. And so, like, I wonder, now I watch, like, I'm really big on the Red Bull BC1 international breakdancing competition. It's happening in Tokyo this weekend. It'll be in a later segment that we talk about. But there's all these training camps now, and all of them have, like, oh, now there's harnesses for you to learn how to do flares. Now there's, like, soft floors for you to learn how to do windmills. I'm like, I learned on concrete. And, like, and when we had to go work on staging or any of that, it was on concrete in the parking lot before we did the show. So, definitely not taken care of. And now kids fight me. I'm like, but I look so cool in my Converse. I'm like, you're not going to have fun in 2 hours. Like, go get your right shoes on. Oh my goodness. I think that's incredible.
Well, that was a solid 60-second tech block. So hopefully someone out there just got the tech advice they didn't know they needed. We clearly all got lots of advice that we needed. But now it is time to switch things up. So it's time for everybody's favorite. What are we doing?
What are we doing?
What are we doing?
This is the part of the show where we let loose a little bit, or maybe a lot. This is your chance to rant about something in the marching arts that just doesn't make sense. So maybe it's a tradition that needs to go. Maybe it's a habit that performers can't seem to break. Maybe it's something that makes you think, why are we even doing this? Why haven't we started doing this yet? Whatever it is, this is your moment to call it out. So who has got something they need to get off their chest first?
Go. Let's
go for it.
Yes.
We need to use color appropriately in this activity. And what I mean by that...
In color guard?
What I mean by that.
What?
We need to have color in color guard, like gray, black, brown, and tan. There's so many more colors. And color has a psychology. Like we're literally working against the psychology of our shows by just picking colors we like. And gray is not a color. Now that's not a bash. There's a marching band this year that's spectacular where their whole show, their hook is about gray. Spectacular, 100%. Absolutely did that. But y'all, gray is actually, it doesn't have any emotion to it. So whenever we pick stuff like that, we forget what our canvas is too. It's not white, it's green for the marching band field, and for what can be whatever you want. But check out color psychology, people. It means something, and it could actually help you get points because you can trick the minds of the judges.
But Becca, my favorite color is yellow.
Yellow's wonderful. Yellow's such a wonderful color. It leads to
Great
happiness.
contrast to green.
Yeah. But it depends on how you use it with green. It depends on what shade of yellow.
Interesting.
Yes.
What are your go-to? So you're picking a show for the fall. What colors do you try to stay away from? What color palettes maybe do you lean towards with a green canvas?
Well, see, I have this book.
She came prepared. I got the receipts right here.
I will show you.
For any of our
Everybody needs to go
listeners who are not
it's
watching
on
the video,
Amazon.
the book is called Complete Color Harmony.
Complete Color Harmony, yes. And it actually goes through emotional contrasts. And so you can like take your productions that you're working on. You can be like, oh, this is aggressive. What colors actually portray aggressive? But you always have to, like in marching band, you got to start with your green, right? Green is, and it's a weird green, like it's a muddy green. It's not like the best green in the world, unless you're somewhere weird like Boise where we have a blue field. And, so I always stay away from grays, blacks, and I'm talking about like flags and panel and costumes a lot of times on the field, anything that's going to blend. Your earth tones blend a lot. They don't provide a lot. I'm going to go for, depending on what my show concept is and what the music is. Like if it's soft and pretty, that's one thing. If it's aggressive, if it's heroic, there's your yellow pulls out the heroic nature of emotional qualities, but it could be anything. But I try not to go for my propensities, which my favorite colors are like blue and red, which we've used both of those in Juxtaposition, but it went with the show.
Very nice.
So, Joey or Nicole, you want to go
I'll
next?
definitely go next. Because this actually ties into what Beck was saying. What are we doing? I always say this, like I'm going to go and then I'm like, oh, how do I say this? But I'm just going to say it. What are we doing? I don't know, asking for advice when it comes to getting uniforms and when it comes to getting flags, anything that really has to be designed, even asking advice getting floors. There's a lot of folks out there who are on maybe year 1, maybe year 2, even year 3, and getting what for their group, what, a World Guard of 40 is getting for their group of 8, and there's a difference between that. We have to get out of that whole mindset of like, well, I don't want anybody to think I'm stupid. It's not, no one thinks you're stupid. No one thinks that you don't know anything. And honestly, this whole thing of like people thinking that things are gate kept, it's not. And honestly, like, what did my mom say? Oh, closed mouths don't get fed. So you need to ask. And when people give you that kind of information, go ahead and get it. You know what I mean? Take it, go with it. You don't need a 90 by whatever floor.
You don't need a floor at all.
Exactly. You can get some strips. You can get 2 strips of floor if you wanted it, And even with flags too, it doesn't have to be super busy. I mean, your color palette could start with your floor. Then the next part of your color palette could be your uniform. And then the next part of your color palette could be your flag. Like it all works together at some point. It's all on the floor at the same time.
And solid flags and solid colors produce just the same amount of effect as digitally printed flag. Look, Pride of Cincinnati won one year with solid lame flags. They didn't have prints on their flags. I mean, you don't need to have as a matter of fact, sometimes like we're in this world right now where there's too much sometimes on these designs, too many colors all at once,
Way
simplify
too much.
it. Yeah.
And I think it's one of those things, it's just like, okay, well, this is what I want to do. And that's fine that you want to do that. Make sure you put all of those thoughts together and look at them. But my what are we doing? Like I'm saying before, ask for the advice. Swallow that pride or that, that feeling that you think that, oh, someone's going to think I'm dumb or stupid. No, we've all been there before. I've asked before. I'm one of the most extra people in the world. Some of the things that take somebody like 5 minutes to do could take me maybe an hour and a half. But guess what? It's still going to get done. And I know exactly what's happening. Ask. It's okay. This is we always talk about the marching arts community being a community. It is. Look at what happened to Vandegrift. People came together because it's a community. Yeah. Ask around. People will let you know. And guess what? Here's the other thing too. If you ask and they don't tell you, that's the worst of it. Go to somebody else. They'll tell you. So, yeah.
And there's tons of resources out there too. As what I think too. Like there's this podcast. There's currently a podcast that's for sale that has tons of information. Mm-hmm. Jackie's got a lot of educational stuff on her YouTube. Like there's tons of people out here willing to help and just like giving away the secrets, but they're not secrets. Mm-hmm. It's literally just you haven't asked. And so I really think that's like the biggest thing is like I ask all the time. I'll go to shows all the time and be like, how did you pick that? How did you design that moment? That is so cool. How did you teach that? How did you make them do that? That's a trained skill set. How did you scaffold there? Like I'll always ask, and people just think I'm a weirdo, and I'm okay with that.
And please don't mistake my passion for being upset about it. I'm not. I'm just being very real. And this is my real face and my real voice, not the one I use on TV.
All right. Well, Joey, what are we doing?
I think I'm going to double down on my what are we doing from last week just because I'm hearing of it happening other places. What are we doing? Casting high schoolers that have an existing competitive program at their school in our independent groups.
Oh.
Yeah.
I still don't understand it. I mean, like the biggest point to me is there are 17 and 16-year-olds now in a room full of 23s, in a hotel room full of 23s, and changing rooms full of 23s, and buses, and how just logistically and insurance-wise and safety-wise are we making that even real? Like, I understand, like, if the homeschool's not a great place, like maybe the independent place will be, but like, in both of the situations that I hear, I'm not going to name names. That's not what this is about. It's mostly just about like, let's maybe change the trajectory of the culture to be like, if your independent group has to pull from high school groups that have competitive ensembles, maybe you don't need an independent group right now. Maybe the area is still building in the scholastic space. That's our bread and butter in the color guard world is all these scholastic groups. Maybe we got to focus on them. And then, in 2 years when those kids graduate, you can have an independent A group that's successful. But to have an open and world group that you're pulling these kids from high school, what high school kids are able to compete with all the crazy things that are happening in the world right now? And like, B, how are you going to keep them safe? Those are the things that I don't think people are thinking about right now. And it's just silly to me.
Well, they should be because they need to keep their organization safe. I mean, honestly.
Yeah.
Yes. You have to keep your organization safe, and I mean, we have a wide range of ages, but we don't take anybody under the age of 18. It's just as simple as that. We had one kid last year that was going to turn 18 before December, and she was still in high school, but her high school color guard didn't have a program. And we talked to mom and dad about it all. And she had marched drum corps and stuff, but we talked to mom and dad, and they had to sign some releases and those types of things. But I mean, in general, it's just for us, particularly in independent world, it's just easier not to take kids under the age of 18.
We did that when the one season we had a world group and we had a student who had been a veteran of our IA guard for years, and he was excellent, but he was only 17 and wasn't going to be 18 at all during the season. And so we ended up having to not have him as a part of the program, and it was really sad, but it definitely was better for everybody that we did it the way we did.
So I have a question about this because it's happened. It has not happened in the negative way to me. I did have a performer who just excelled like leaps and bounds over everyone else. And, we sat down, talked with this person's parents and with the director of the independent guard and with the band director, made sure we crossed all the T's and dotted all the I's, but we knew that that was a great thing for them to go on to. And then, the thing about it is just like in a negative way though. Like, I just want to know what the stipulations are, because obviously I think it's like a spoken agreement, with circuits. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things that are just like, okay, we frown upon it. Well, maybe, I don't know. Maybe that should be in writing somewhere.
Well,
yes.
I don't know.
You have to get the director's signature or the principal's. Now, it doesn't help if the girls or the performers talk to the director says, I don't think this is the best fit. And then they go to the principal and talk about it as if it's a rec league sports thing, rather than, again, 17-year-olds in the same changing space as 23-year-olds. So, like, as long as they get the principal's signature, they're good. And that's exactly what happened in one of these instances. It also doesn't help if the director of the independent group is also on the board of the circuit and is helping make decisions. And we really have, like, on both of these, we haven't heard from the circuit. It's been weeks that we've asked, hey, can you do something about this? And nothing. So
I just feel within circuits, the way that you build them is from your high school groups. Those high school groups come to learn and grow within that circuit, want to stay within that circuit. So they march that independent guard in that circuit, spend time with them. And maybe they even start another independent guard for that circuit. You know what I mean? To grow that said circuit. I just don't understand why things capped why it's a cloudy thing. You know what I mean? Like, why it's something you can't go look up on their website. Why is it kept thing?
I think it's circuit by circuit, and that's something that circuits need to look at and making rulings about. It's definitely coming up more and more now. All right, Stephanie, what are we doing?
Mine is kind of funny, but mine is the Christmas videos that the color guards put out. Because I don't understand how they have time to produce them. Now, I'm not talking about like the groups all get together and take a picture and say Merry Christmas. I'm talking about the full-fledged productions that occur. I just don't. I mean,
so
we are
good.
in such. We're in such like panic mode about getting everything done that there is no way that I'm giving up not even 1 minute for that. So I just wonder like where these people are finding the time to do it. I mean, good for them. I mean,
we make time for the things we love,
I guess, yeah.
That has been like every time I see one, I'm like, where are y'all finding time to do this?
Right.
I don't understand. And it looks so good. And it's like, ooh, the videographer is coming in.
Right. Choreographed. Yes. Edited. It's like, it's so perfect.
Yeah, there's
I mean, they
we're
really
like
have to learn a routine. And I'm like, we don't have time for this. Like, right. I don't have time to let them do Secret Santa, much less do a video. Like,
it's like, you're not getting 5 more minutes to do Secret Santa in the dinner break. You got to get it done. And we're back to rehearsal,
It's just such a time crunch. I just wonder how they find the time, It's crazy.
When does Juxta start rehearsing?
No, we always used part of our show, and then we just were like, okay, show up. And ours were not anywhere near as fancy and produced as the ones that like the guards do nowadays. But like, we were just like, okay, show up in your Christmas sweaters for rehearsal, and we're gonna do this and this choreography from the show, and we're gonna put it to Mariah Carey, and that's our Christmas production. And then you just run off the floor or whatever. And it was, I don't know, you make it, you kind of make it rehearsal, you kind of make it part of your show too. So.
I mean, some of these folks like actually have staging. There's little drill forms, and there's like, and I'm just like, how? I don't have time for that. It's fun to watch, but I'm just like, man, we don't have time for that. No way.
There's AI now.
Great job, everyone. Set your crowns. Gush Go.
That's so perfect.
All right, we got that off our chest. Now let's get into our Gush and Goes. This is your chance to shout out something awesome happening in your life, marching arts related or not. Maybe you're excited about a performance, a student's success, a big life event, or just something cool you want to brag about. No negativity here, just pure unfiltered hype. So, who wants to start us off?
I guess I will.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay, sorry. So I have been trying new recipes for the reason of just like getting off my phone, getting away from my computer, and it just puts you, not to look at things. So I have my own chili recipe that I've had for over 10 years now, and I just keep, refining ways to do it. And I'm not saying that I'm not saying no one will taste it and be like, "Ooh, I don't like this." But everyone that has tasted my chili has loved it.
That sounds yummy.
Loved it. Yeah. So I keep trying to find ways to make it more like from scratch. So that's one thing. So anyway, I have added a couple more things to that. And some of them aren't my actual recipes. I'll get them from somebody else and just add some things to it. But about a week and a half ago, I made a Biscoff cheesecake. Biscoff cookie cheese. Y'all, this cheesecake did not stand a chance in the house at all. Between me and my roommate.
So we're coming over to your place for Friendsgiving? Is that how this is working?
You can. Okay. I make my cranberry sauce from scratch. Only 3 ingredients. I'll tell you, I'm not a gatekeeper. You real, just cranberries, and then orange juice and sugar. And you just let it boil down. And the fun part is that when the cranberries are ready, they do a little pop. It's so good. It's so good. But yes, I'm just trying to build my own recipe.
What do you like to go on about?
As has been the last month, I'm not talking about band. I'm talking about the dance world. Jabberwockies just premiered their show in Vegas on the 24th. Very exciting. Now you can do the meet and greet, and they have collectible trading cards, which I think is the cutest little thing. The show's really cool. It's got these 3D projected mapped lights that they control, and now it's all around them, and it kind of looks immersive. Frequency is not just the musical theme; it's a visual theme within the show, and it's just so cool the way that they use it, both in the audio wise and just the frequency in which they use forms and blocking throughout the show. It's really neat. So that just happened. We're really excited about that. The Red Bull BC1 World Breakdancing Competition is happening in Tokyo this weekend. All tickets are sold out, so if you didn't buy your ticket, you can't go. But they are showing it on YouTube Live, so check into that. A lot of B-boys and B-girls are running in and making some stuff happen. And then, of course, PASIC and Indy are just a couple weeks away, so get those final things tightened down. And I can't wait to see the best bands in the U.S. compete against each other for 3 full days. It's going to be beautiful.
Crazy.
That's what I'm gushing and going about.
Becca, what do you want to gush and go on about?
I'm going to gush and go on about my husband because some people know this, not a lot of people do. So he has been, I'm not going to say battling, he's been working through cancer diagnosis, and his last chemo infusion was in August, and his health has been absolutely spectacular. They released him to the wolves, so he is traveling and judging all over the place as normal, and he's had the best attitude. So I wanted to gush about him because we both got locked in the house, and he wants people to, quite frankly, stop asking about him. But no, he's great. So I wanted to gush about him because that's the best thing in my life. So.
Yay. Congratulations, Mike.
Thank you.
Congratulations, for sure. All right, Stephanie, do you want to gush and go on about?
I think the biggest change for me right now is I work 3 days a week at Nationwide Children's Hospital here in Columbus, and I'm going to cut back 1 day. So I'll work 2 days on 1 week and 3 days the next, just to kind of help with taking on some of these other programs that maybe Becca and I are doing together here. And so that helps me be able to go in on their Thursday night rehearsals and be there on their Friday night rehearsals. So I'm cutting back at least 1 day at my real life job.
Spreading the wealth.
It's called self-love, self-care.
Right.
See, everyone needs it. Everyone. And that comes with duct tape.
Yeah. It's probably the only thing we had, I mean, I don't remember them ever having bandages or anything else. So it was the closest thing to fix the problem.
Probably not. Yeah.
I need to gush and go on. I'm very, very excited about this because for the first time ever, and it is marching band related, so I'm taking it back, I'm going to be at BOA Grand Nationals. So I'm so excited about this. I've never gone. I've been to DCI 872 times. I've been WGI like time, and I have never done BOA Grand Nationals. So I'm going there. I'm going to have the kids, and people can come up and say hi. And oh, I'm so excited. Am I going to see you guys there is the question.
My husband will be judging. But I'm not going to be there.
I will not be there. I'll be teaching a color guard in Texas.
I'll be there, and like I said on a couple of episodes ago, you can meet me at the Taco Bell Cantina right across the street from the convention center. We'll have some tacos. We'll have a Baja Blast freeze with some heat in it. You know what I mean? Stay warm.
Order some cheese quesadillas for my kid, and we'll be there.
Gush Go, not Gush and Stay. Let's go.
All right. Thanks for a great rehearsal this week, guys. Thanks for everyone who spent so much time with us today. Stephanie and Becca, where can we find you guys on social media?
I'm on all of them. TikTok. I don't have Twitter. I have Blue Sky. But TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Becca.Anderson or Becca.Anderson23 or 2397, whatever's on my handle. It's one of those.
I'm on Facebook and Instagram, but Juxtaposition actually has a Facebook and an Instagram as well. So people can contact us through them if they would like.
All right. Nicole, Joey, thank you for hosting with me today. If anybody has a good question or good topic to talk about, make sure you email us at onawwaterbreakpodcast@gmail.com. You can also find us on our social media and DM us if you want to be on the show. We also have a form you can fill out if you want to be a guest. Just check it out on our link in bio. We love, love, love having people on the podcast. So check that out. And you could also just take your phone out, honestly, and make a video telling us, your Gush and Go or your what are we doing, and send it in, and maybe we'll feature it on the show. One more thing. Don't forget, we also have a YouTube channel. So go and subscribe. You can watch all of our episodes in video format there. And make sure before you close out of your podcast listening app, subscribe, write us a review, share this episode with a friend, follow us on all of our social media at On a Water Break. We'll see you at the next rehearsal on a water break.
Go practice. The On a Water Break podcast was produced by Jeremy Williams and Christine Reams. The intro and outro music was produced by Josh Lyda. To learn more, visit lydamusic.com. And until next time, thanks for tuning in.